Hey, Bomet hoi. Nataka tukubaliane. Tutatembea pamoja. Tutatembea pamoja. Wacha nione watu ya Wantam.
Yesterday was one of the biggest day in Kenya. The reason why I'm saying so is because yesterday the United Alternative Government, that is United Opposition, took their rally to several parts of the country. Main stop was Kisii and Nyamira. But along the way, the United Alternative made some stopovers in Rift Valley, that is part of Bomet and Kericho. In that, Rigathi Gachagua received a message that was never expected. When they took a stopover in Bomet, especially in Chebilat and Mulot, there was a chant that shakes the state house, the Wantam chants. Rigathi Gachagua addressed them, but when the time came to say Arambe, the reciprocation or the answer came as Wantam. Remember, Rift Valley and Bomet County specifically is part and parcel of the Rift Ridge vote in the Bondela over factions that is considered to be President William Ruto's bedroom. Where the dice yesterday changed, the people are tired of the government. They came out in large numbers, not because they were paid, but because they wanted to send a political message. Rigathi Gachagua stood and said something that touched the people of Bomet. The story of Mau Forest, for amounting to almost 20 years, the people who lived in Mau Forest have never been compensated. The people who were ejected have never been given fidia by the government of the day. Consider that now the Kalenjins believe in quotes that they have the government at hand. But Rigathi Gachagua said that if William Ruto does not do that, him and the alternative government, that is United Opposition, will reward those affected. By far such, leave that aside, Rigathi Gachagua also charged the crowd, saying the leaders who were elected from the Kalenjin region are now sleeping in bed with President William with no or little development compared to those who never voted for even President William Ruto in 2022. It made the corresponding comparing the Bomet requirement and development calendar track with the Nyanza region. Remember, the Nyanza region are part and parcel of the United Opposition, the ODM, who are now in government benefiting more than people who voted.
Kama kuna stima wanasema ni sawa. Hawa bunge mujitayarishe, muingie DCP, muwafukuza wote waende nyumbani. Amen. Waende nyumbani wasiende. Huyu Senator Sigai ni Wantam si Wantam. Wangapi wanasema Senator Sigai Wantam. Wacha nichanue nyinyi. Pale mlimani, huyu mtu wenu Kasongo tumempangia. Sisi mikutano yake tukienda lazima tulipwe. Mkutano ya Kasongo mlimani kwenda lazima upewe bao 3 ndio uende kwa mkutano. Na kupiga makofi uongezwe 2,000. Na kucheka uongezwe 2,000.
According to Gachagua, there is no development that happened, and there is no day President William Ruto has ever invited delegates from these counties in his home, that is Rift Valley and other parts of the country who voted for him. Particularly the Rift Valley region, there has not been any delegation going to parliament as compared, or to state house as compared to other regions who are regularly visiting either the office of the Deputy President or the state house office of the President. And in that, the conversation has escalated, forcing the South Rift leaders to come out. First on the list is the majority Senate leader Aaron Cheriot, saying that Rigathi Gachagua has no moral or capacity to lecture anyone. That when he was the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, he never even built a toilet. That President William Ruto has brought some development to South Rift.
Sana ile maneno nimeona pale Bomet siku ya leo. Ati hii mtu naitwa nani naitwa nini? Wa Minyo. Hii mtu ambaye tulifukuza kazi juzi. Ati sasa anajifanya anataka kutetea sisi. Wakati William Ruto alikuwa Deputy President, ulikuwa unaweza kuona barabara zile ametafuta, ungeweza kuona KMTC, ungeweza kuona TVET na makanisa zile alisaidia na mambo mengi. Wewe kwa ile miaka miwili ulikuwa Deputy President, kuja hapa Bomet siku ya leo na utuambie kwa ile miaka mbili tulikupea kama Deputy President ni kazi gani ulitufanyia. Sio kurudi hapa na fitina ya utapeli. Hata unatuambia sijui nini, hamjafanyiwa hii, hamjafanyiwa ile. Hata tukaenda paka tukose watu wa kututetea, afadhali tununue paka itutetee, lakini sio wewe. Wewe ni mtu bure kabisa. Hakuna siku unaweza ongea maneno ya maana. Mtu mkabili.
Bomet Governor Hilary Barchok has come out to defend the government, saying that Rigathi Gachagua is suffering from what we call verbal diarrhea, that she speaks without considering what he's saying. He considered Rigathi Gachagua as a tribal leader. Have a listen to.
Rigathi Gachagua was at Bomet here. They suffer from a pandemic called verbal diarrhea. And this is a very serious disease that cannot be treated by pastors or anybody, because it is a disease that we may pray, we may call on the pastors, but unless somebody is taken actually to Mathare for re-examination, that disease may not go away quickly. When Rigathi Gachagua tells us in a vernacular radio station that Kalenjins do not have a spokesperson, we just want to tell him that we have many leaders who can speak. But because we don't suffer from verbal diarrhea with you, we are measured in our words and our statements. Most of the Kalenjins we have are very learned people. For example, His Excellency the Governor of Kericho, who holds a legitimate PhD from a serious university. He doesn't just speak for speaking, but he measures his words. Riggy G has and his team has christened themselves as agendas of Wantam. So when you hear them, they say Wantam, Wantam. But ask them what they want to do for the country. They have no agenda of what they want to do for the country.